Alright, so as always, I'm going to have you do number 1 kind of just with me as I show you how to do this. And then numbers 2, 3, and 4 you're going to go ahead and try on your own and then play the video to see how you do compared to what I did. So in this first one, you notice that we're going to be doing our order of operations again. So that's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So we always want to start and see, do we have any parentheses? And now this time, that's what's going to be new today. We do have some parentheses in these problems. So what that means is you have to do everything within your parentheses first, and then you go on to the rest of the steps. Okay, so this first one we have 2 plus 16 within our parentheses. We have parentheses here, so we have to do that first. So I'll underline that, and then switch up colors. 2 plus 16 is 18. Okay, now I did that, so I'm going to write the rest of the problem down. Just like that. And then I move on. Okay, since your 18 now is just down to one number, you don't have to put your parentheses around them. You can, but they don't mean anything. Okay, so I typically don't do that. So I wouldn't if I was you. So then from there, we go parentheses, nope, none left. Exponents, no exponents. We do have multiplication and division here, and our division comes first, so we need to do that. 18 divided by 3 is 6. That equals 6. Did it. And now we just have my times 2 left. And then 6 times 2 is 12. Alright, so here's number 2. So at this time you can go ahead and stop the video and just try this problem on your own and then hit play once you are done. So I'll go ahead and stop the video. Alright, so hopefully that went okay for you. So at this point I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write out my order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. If you're at the point where you think you pretty much memorized that, you don't have to write it out every time, but I like to. So step 1, parentheses. Do I have any parentheses? And I do. I have my 5 minus 2 in parentheses, so I'm going to do that first. 5 minus 2 is 3. So then I did that, and I want to write everything else down. And I'm going to switch up colors here. So 15 divided by, and then got my 3, times 2 minus 3. Okay? And now I'm back to running through my steps. So I don't have any parentheses left. I have no exponents, multiplication or division. I have division here and multiplication here. Since division comes first, I'm going to do that next. So 15 divided by 3. Let's see, 3 can go in 15 5 times. So I did that, and now I'm left with just this times 2 minus 3. Okay. And now again, I just want to run through my steps. So no parentheses, no exponents, multiplication, division. I still have some multiplication, so I got to do that next. 5 times 2 is 10. And bring everything else down, minus 3. And then 10 minus 3 is 7. All done. So hopefully that went okay for you. If not, kind of try to see what you did. Most likely, if you did one thing out of order, for instance, if you did 2 minus 3 first, then you get -1, and 10 minus -1 is -11. So there'd be a lot of different ways to get different answers. So don't feel bad if you got it wrong. Just kind of try to take a look and then move on. Alright, so at this time I want you to go ahead and try this problem, and once you finish, you can go ahead and start playing the video again and see how you did. Alright, so hopefully that went okay for you. I'm going to write out my order of operations here. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and start now. So do I have any parentheses in my problem? I do. I have 2 times 3 plus 4. So you notice here I have 2 different operations within my parentheses. So I have to continue on through my order of operations and do this now in order. So I have no exponents in there, but I do have multiplication. So I do that first. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, and then you write everything else out. So I just did 2 times 3. So I'm going to cross that off. But everything else needs to go. So I have 8 minus parentheses 6 plus 4 divided by 2. Okay, now go back through your steps, parentheses. I still have 2 numbers within my parentheses, so I got to do that first. 6 plus 4 is 10. Okay, so I just did that, so I can cross it off, and then write everything else down. So I have this and that. 8 minus divided by 2. Okay, so now I'm going to again work through my steps. I have no parentheses, no exponents. Multiplication, division, I do have division here. So I have to do this first. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And write everything else down. 8 minus 5, and 8 minus 5 is 3. So 3 is my final answer. Go ahead and review your work and then move on to our last one. Alright, so we have one more left. So we're going to go ahead and go through our order of operations. Why don't you go ahead and try this problem on your own though, and then hit play once you're ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to go through my order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And I do have parentheses right here. So I'm going to do that first. Now notice, again, I have more than one operation within my parentheses. So I need to do that. Go through my order of operations to do what's within my parentheses. So I'm with my parentheses. There are no exponents within my parentheses. But there is multiplication right here, so I have to do that first. 3 times 4 is 12. So I'm going to go ahead and write 12 here for 3 times 4, and then write everything else as it is. So all this I need to write. 16 divided by parentheses 16 minus 12 divided by 2. Okay, now I'm back to having to go through my order of operations. I still have parentheses. I still have 2 things within my parentheses, so I'm going to do that next. 16 minus 12 is 4. So I get 4 here. Cross that off and write everything else down. Now you're left with a bunch of division. So we have no parentheses, no exponents, but we do have division left. So you want to do it in order. So 16 divided by 4 first, then divided by 2. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. And bring everything else down. And then final, 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 2 is your final answer. If you got it, great. If not, we'll have more practice to come.